All right, everyone. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. I am so happy to welcome you to the pitch day for our Washington, D.C. Founder Catalyst cohort. My name is Katie Smith, and I'm the Vice President of the Founder Catalyst program at Techstars, and I am delighted to kick us off today. You are in for a real treat as we celebrate the journey of these women over the past 10 weeks and show their massively impactful and inspiring companies. For those of you who are new to the Techstars Founder Catalyst program, we are a 10-week pre-accelerator program that brings mentorship, community, education, and of course, the Techstars network to entrepreneurs who are looking to take their early stage businesses to the next level. We do this by working with partners who share our belief in the power of developing founders and entrepreneurial ecosystems. And we have been fortunate enough to team up with the JP Morgan team that leads the way on these fronts. On that note, I want to thank our partner, JP Morgan, who has made all of this possible, and with a special shout out to Lauren Serena, Anna Garnitz, Sam Saperstein of the Women of the Move team, and the LGBT plus affairs team. This team is the true definition of partnership, and it has been a pleasure to spend these past few months with you. I also want to extend our heartfelt thanks to all of our mentors and speakers who have invested so much of their time and talents to helping this group. And finally, a huge congratulations and thank you to Fareshte Amarsi, Cheryl Kellen, Talisha Bowen, Lucia Vega, and Neil Carroll, our program team at Techstars, for your passion and hard work. All right, let's get this started. Last thing, to the founders of this program, you are incredible, talented, hardworking, and an inspiration. It has been a personal pleasure to join you over these past 10 weeks and watch you grow, evolve, push through challenges, and care for one another. I cannot wait to see what you do from here. And now, I'm pleased to turn it over to our partner and head of Women on the Move, Sam Saperstein.
Thank you so much, Katie. Hi, everyone. I'm Sam Saperstein, head of Women on the Move for JP Morgan Chase. Our mission is to fuel female ambition and help women both inside and outside of the company. And we do that by helping women in 4 strategic areas: business growth and entrepreneurship, financial health and literacy, careers and skills, and community development. In particular, we bring a very strong passion to helping women in business, all the way from helping small business owners to founders of high growth companies. And so we're really excited about this Founder Catalyst program and doing this with Techstars as well as with our partners in the LGBT plus affairs group. We see such strong value in working with Techstars. It's a leader with startups and a leader in really helping to find and support diverse founders. We're very excited to be here with you in this cohort and to be establishing 2 more groups later this year in Miami and the Bay Area. Overall, JP Morgan Chase has made an even larger commitment to Techstars. They've announced recently an $80 million fund by which we will help support diverse ecosystems in cities across the United States. Techstars knows the value of focusing on networking, fundraising, and improving the confidence of their founders. And I hope that you've all found benefits across these different areas. Congratulations on completing this program and on solving the big problems that we think are going to be so beneficial to women in our communities. I'm really excited to hear your pitches today, and so let's get going with the program. With that, thank you very much for joining, and I'll turn things over to Fareshte.
Awesome. Thank you, Sam. Hi, everybody. As mentioned, my name is Fareshte, and I'm a director here at Techstars. It's been a privilege to have a front row seat in this program, watching you founders grow over the last 10 weeks with support from the program team, working tirelessly behind the scenes, from our amazing mentors and speakers, and of course, each other in this cohort. I'm so excited to share with everybody else here in the room all the impressive startups from the cohort. So as promised, and without further ado, here they are.
Shayna and a bit of a hoarder, no different than the average American who has over 300,000 items in their home and is typically 69% underinsured. Like many during the pandemic, I surveyed all my belongings and I was stressed. In fact, 84% of consumers today report being stressed by their inability to properly manage their belongings. About 29 million are young women living in urban areas with luxury buying habit and storage units full of untapped value. But if you've ever had to guesstimate the value of your belongings for insurance or upload something for resale, you know the issue. It takes on average 10 minutes to upload one item for resale. That's 1 hour for just 6 items, which is why we only resell 10% of our things, and an estimate $54 billion is left unused in our home or landfill. But with the changing environment at the forefront, recirculating more of what we have is the only way to meet global sustainability goals. So I created Envy, an inventory management tool to enable every consumer to digitally track and manage their belonging, from purchase to resale. And as a project manager with over 10 years experience using inventory management software, I knew exactly how beneficial it could be if properly applied and where the bottleneck is. The supply chain is broken, and traditionally supply chain logistics isn't extended to consumer experiences because it's an overlooked experience. But that also means that brands are disconnected from the growing $37 billion resale industry. Envy bridges the gap between retail and resale in partnership to create a truly circular, sustainable experience and extend the supply chain to meet the needs of modern consumers and brands. Our platform enables brands to participate in revenue-generating resale transactions, and our API backend is dead simple to onboard any brand into our system. Envy automatically aggregates product data at the point of purchase into a centralized dashboard personalized to each user to organize, insure, share, or resell. My team has a wealth of knowledge in estate and wealth management, inventory software, marketplaces, and we'll continue to apply it to our growth and development. Since the launch of our beta, we've had over 453 downloads with 193 weekly users. As we develop our MVP launching in August, we're focused on the 29 million luxury secondhand resellers, and we'll charge a monthly premium subscription of $5.99 for a potential revenue of $208 million. And as we hit our milestone, additional streams of revenue come through advertisement, resale commissions, and data transactions. Please contact us if you're interested in hearing more. Envy is the only integrated and truly circular platform with a roadmap that leads to peace of mind at home and a breath of fresh air outside. Thank you.
We are the new majority, closing the racial and gender wealth gap through entrepreneurship and investing. My name's Mackenzie Loy, and I'm co-founder and CEO of the New Majority. With a background in sales, innovation, and tech, and the founder of 2 social enterprises, I'm both the everyday investor and New Majority founder we aim to connect. My co-founder is Lucas Turner Owens, Chief Investment Officer. With a background in consulting, impact investing, and fund management, Lucas is the brains behind our investment analysis. 2015 was the first year census data showed that babies of color outnumbered white babies. And as they grow up, this group that was once considered a minority will become the new majority. And we believe that those overlooked in investing will drive it going forward: women, people of color, and LGBTQ. Now, beyond the stock market, there are 3 categories for everyday investors to find new investment opportunities: newsletters providing research, equity crowdfunding platforms, and VC-style funds that are focused on non-accredited investors. Now, none of these categories exclude new majority founders, but none of them focus on them, and that's what everyday new majority investors want. We are the new majority. We make it easy for everyday new majority investors to invest directly into founders who look like them. Our initial target investors are the new majority, with disposable income and a basic finance knowledge. These 48 million are just our starting point.
This May, we're launching our MVP, the New Majority newsletter, to give everyday New Majority investors the insights, tools, and confidence to invest their dollars with their values. In addition to the newsletter, we'll have a paid members-only website with our investment analysis of our monthly featured New Majority founder. Our secret sauce for membership is our curation of New Majority founders, fun and accessible content, and a thriving community of like-minded folks. From over 100 customer interviews and $50,000 in committed capital, we've refined our target investor who's more likely to become a member for 2 reasons. They're learning and building connections with each new addition, and our featured founders represent them and their values. Thus, they're more likely to become New Majority brand evangelists. This go-to-market strategy will help build our brand and audience and our own skills at content creation. And once we've hit a critical mass, we'll begin to build the platform our investors tell us they want. We project revenue beginning in October, with paid members primarily from our graduating MBA and MPP classes. The second revenue stream is events and webinars to help level up the financial acumen of our community, with a third stream from ad sponsorship and a fourth carried interest. Thank you for your time today. We look forward to building the New Majority with your wisdom behind us.
Hi, my name is Anna London, founder and CEO of Chrysalis.ai, the new gold standard in learning management systems. As a licensed educator, I can tell you from experience that today's LMS platforms we use are not sufficient enough to measure the student's ability to demonstrate understanding of concepts, nor give us the insights needed to help struggling students at the very first indication of struggle. This is critical because teachers manage classrooms of 20 students on average with the assigned curriculum that must be delivered within a tight schedule, so struggling students end up getting left behind. A startling statistic is that out of 3.6 million students that graduated high school last year in the US, 76% failed to meet basic proficiency levels in math and reading. Currently, the US ranks 38th out of 71 countries in math and 24th in science. The solution is a personalized learning platform with a more effective evaluation system that helps us lower attrition rates and improve student engagement. With Chrysalis.ai, we can accommodate the kinesthetic, the autodidactic, and everything in between. Fluid analytics captured from pre-built labs, assignments, and student activities through the platform help us ensure they're able to demonstrate understanding of these concepts, and at the same time, keep students engaged in a fun, immersive environment utilizing mixed reality and gamification that improves content retention rates from 20 to 40% to 80 to 90%, which is huge. We're taking learning outside where kids can interact and learn with everything around them. Their world comes alive. At the intersection of 2D and 3D space, learning becomes a part of everyday life. Kids are no longer confined to a classroom indoors in front of a computer screen. They're active and can interact and play in a world where they can make their imaginations come alive in a digital playground that moves with them. Teachers, parents, and kids can play and learn together everywhere they go. We have a pre-built bundle development environment, labs, and assessments with advanced patent-pending immersive and intuitive features that are 508 compliant for persons with disabilities, which are not offered by these other platforms. Traction includes 4 enterprise customer LOIs and strategic partnerships with major industry players. Through our SaaS subscription business model, users will onboard with a trial license or freemium model that will transfer to an annual or monthly subscription with a software license that is tied to that user, and API integration support for a seamless transition from competitor platforms into ours. We will initially be targeting K-12 in the US in the areas of cyber, STEAM, and entrepreneurship, valued at $45 billion. We plan to scale through strategic partnerships and work with marketing experts like Instruel.ai for an efficient go-to-market strategy to meet our target of $12 million in revenue by 2023. Our team pedigree includes domain expertise and proven past performance of execution with major government, commercial, and education clients. And we have a strong advisor team, some not represented on this slide, with education, marketing, finance, and business strategy expertise. We're working with content providers for content development. Every child deserves a chance to succeed. If you're on board to help our children where it matters most, we're your smart investment. Thank you.
Caroma, founder of Cytoploy. Cytoploy is a cloud-based testing automation system that enables security changes to be made with confidence. IT managers and systems administrators sit in a very difficult position. On the one hand, they're responsible for making security changes, updates, configurations in a timely manner so that their organizations are not at risk for a breach. 80% of security breaches are due to misconfigured and unpatched systems, costing a $4 million average per breach per company. On the other hand, IT managers and systems administrators are responsible for ensuring that the changes made, the updates, the configurations, don't have an adverse impact to functionality of their organization systems. Furthering the problem is that those with the skill sets to do the IT security updates and the patching, they are low in supply. There are 600,000 open cyber positions in the US alone, with increasing cyber compliance and cybersecurity requirements. Organizations take one of three approaches to security changes. They spray and pray and hope for the best. They do a limited deployment into production, allow users to use those systems the way that they normally would. If nothing wonky happens, then they deploy the changes to the rest of the environment. The third way is they have a test environment where they test out the patches and configuration changes prior to deployment. That last version or approach is very resource intensive. And as I stated, there's a skill shortage. However, Cytoploy, being an intelligent, automated approach to functional testing, it enables proper and timely security configurations and patches and reduces the likelihood of costly breaches and operational inefficiencies. Cytoploy takes a copy of a system, brings it back into a cloud, does the vulnerability and configuration scanning to determine the security gaps, allows for automated remediation of those security issues, making the security changes and configurations, then testing out the impact of those security changes in the cloud environment prior to having to make those changes to production. Cytoploy is unique, it's first to market, and makes cyber accessible and positions organizations for resilience. Cytoploy is an intelligent automated testing solution that tests out the impact of security patches and configurations prior to deployment, unlike its competitors. Cytoploy is patent pending. The business model is focused on a baseline fee and recurring subscription fees. The opportunity is huge, $5 billion alone just through 2024. Cytoploy is anticipated to be at $4 million in revenue conservatively by 2024. We are in phase 2, deploying our freemium model to production and the commercial environment. Cytoploy had a successful pilot, and leveraging the partners I've had from a 20-year career in cyber positions us for success along with my strong advisory team. Thank you.
There's this misconception that personal branding is just for influencers, but professionals have long used media technologies to become thought leaders in their field. Frederick Douglass would leverage the advent of the modern day camera in an effort to rebrand Blackness, become a thought leader for freedom, and ultimately the most photographed person of the 19th century. Hi, I'm Dr. Talea Waller, and I spent my career researching and developing personal brands. Currently, I teach personal branding at Duke University, and my book on the topic can be found in over 170 university libraries, including MIT, Oxford, and Yale. Over the years, I provided personal brand consulting to hundreds of professionals at top organizations like Google, Amazon, the NBA, and the United Nations. Post George Floyd, my company noticed an influx of Black corporate professionals, and they were all saying the same thing. Leadership at their companies were insisting on them to build their personal brands. In this new era of diversity and inclusion, over 79% of companies are looking for tools and opportunities to raise the public profiles of their rising women and BIPOC talent. Every day, there are millions of employees that are marketing themselves on behalf of their companies, whether they are posting on LinkedIn or speaking at an industry conference. But without a measurable brand strategy, these marketing efforts are a waste of time, money, and productivity for both the employee and their organization. Valuables is a software as a service tool that facilitates strategic personal brand management. Our platform uses proprietary analytics and assessments to audit an employee's authentic personal brand, provide insights to help them leverage their expertise online, and brand advisors to guide them along the way. Our competitors' tools help employees manage their brands with 10 to 20 people at work. Valuables helps employees manage their brand with 10 to 20,000 online. In the great economic reshuffling, Fortune 1000 companies will continue to struggle to retain, promote, and attract diverse talent. First, we target their diversity, equity, and inclusion offices, then sales, the C-suite, and the rest of their organization. This past year, we piloted our MVP with the London School of Economics. We conducted consumer research with Georgetown and NYU. Thank you.
Fact. Of the 73 million baby boomers who will be over 65 by 2030, 90% want to stay in their own homes if they can afford it. But they're going to need help, not necessarily from their children. Here are a few ugly truths I learned firsthand. Right now, there's one professional caregiver for every 100 seniors. If you can even find a caregiver, they won't have the tools to keep families and patients informed and connected. I'm Nancy Rome, and I left a career as a documentary filmmaker to manage the nursing team caring for my mother, Frances, in her Baltimore home. At the same time, I was commuting to Boston because my sister's cancer had returned to take her life. I needed to manage nurses' schedules, medication updates, symptoms, mental health, and day-to-day well-being. But no agency I talked to had anything like that. In fact, none of them had the resources even to think about developing those tools. I was stunned by the inefficiency, and as I interviewed those in similar circumstances, I discovered that I was far from alone in my frustrations. Home nursing is exhausting and stressful, resulting in turnover rates of 65%. No surprise, on top of the huge responsibilities of caregiving, there's a crushing amount of paperwork, required logs, and multiple forms of communication. And every time an employee quits, burned out, it costs the agency $170,000 to replace them. Today, there are 12,000 home care nursing agencies in the U.S. charging upwards of $15,000 per month for 24/7 care. Families can spend upwards of $180,000 per year and still experience daily mistakes and crossed wires. After a 2-year search, I couldn't find a solution to address these caregiving challenges, so I decided to build the solution myself. An easy-to-use app that could help agencies and their nurses provide better care. It had to be something that would work right off the bat, no training required, even for those whose first language isn't English. I recruited a talented startup team led by an experienced CTO who has several successful exits under his belt. We built an app called Whole Care. It sets a new standard for seamless communication between families and professional caregivers, leading to a vastly improved care environment. Whole Care will be HIPAA compliant and already offers easy-to-use communication and management infrastructure. It's expandable and will link to specialized modules such as vitals and hydration monitors and dementia care. Whole Care will charge agencies annual fees based on the number of families using the platform in an industry where an estimated 20 million people are cared for at home. Despite the obvious failings, the home care and aging in place industry is a booming $151 billion industry and growing at 30% annually. That doesn't even include multi-care and skilled nursing facilities, adult daycare, and memory care centers, which make up the rest of the $648 billion care economy. The demographics are inescapable, and Whole Care will reduce inefficiencies at every level, enabling a better standard of care in many settings.
That remains to be seen, he said, in the summer of 2020. It's now approaching the summer of 2022. How long are we going to wait? Hi, my name is Tara Marshall-Hill, founder and CEO of Heads Up at Work, the invite-only virtual platform where marginalized professionals can document their lived experiences through company reviews, where they can connect in community with their DEI advocates, and where we accelerate employee-driven corporate change through the industry's first employee-produced AI-enabled publication, ranking the Fortune 500 and beyond, all done anonymously. Despite spending approximately $8 billion on DEI in the past year, in a recent survey, 84% of American professionals stated companies often hide behind public declarations of support for stakeholders, but they just don't walk the walk. And they're not alone. DEI professionals, 2 years after the big promises and wave of hires by their corporate employers, are experiencing significant burnout and lack of efficacy from, as one colleague put it, responsibility without authority. Can you blame them? 65% of DEI professionals lack the access to the company's demographic data. The situation is dismal. There's no better time than now to be the change we want to see. So how does it work? We have a freemium tiered subscription model where community members are completely anonymous, yet triple vetted by our invite-only system, email verification, and additional protocols, so they have the freedom to show up fully for genuine connection in community. In the community, members also have access to Ask Me Anything sessions led by DEI member partners who are also anonymous, and a vast range of resources. Our triple vetted system, community-driven ethos, and access to DEI professionals are only some of the ways we are differentiated from the few others in our space. Or go-to-market strategies include an active presence on Twitter, a private Discord server, and a bi-weekly newsletter. We also intend to expand current thought leadership and continue to establish affiliate and ad revenue streams. Where are we now? Our current traction includes completing the Techstars Founder Catalyst Pre-Accelerator, securing soft agreements from DEI member partners to provide AMAs, masterclasses, and more on the platform, and nurturing a rapidly growing waitlist. If you are interested and would like to learn more, please feel free to contact info@headsupatwork.com. Thank you.
Success, transformation, and change. That is the goal. Economic policy states women of color on average have a 60% pay gap, which equates to $1 million or more lost compared to their male counterparts over the course of their lives. One of these women being Maribel. Maribel is a first-generation Latinx student, and when she had finally graduated top of her class at American University with her master's degree, she thought she had made it. Until 2020, Maribel found herself underemployed, undervalued, and underpaid. Approximately 60 million Black and brown women are underpaid, creating a massive pay gap totaling to $500 billion lost. Giving women of color a harsh reality that dream job is not as accessible. That is why Femme Equity was created. My name is Adiola Ajani, and here's my amazing co-founder, Chidera Bucci. We're both Black women who experienced pay inequity various times in our professional journey and designed Femme Equity to disrupt the gap. Femme Equity is the first digital coaching membership web platform designed for women of color that provides the success, transformation, and change needed to secure their professional and financial destiny, starting in Baltimore. What differentiates us from the crowd is we start early, educating our members from day one, positioning them for long-term success. Our membership provides ongoing personalized coaching, and right now we're the only platform to integrate both financial education with our career coaching. Since the beginning of February, I left my unfulfilling full-time job and decided to fully focus on Femme Equity. And while participating in the Johns Hopkins Social Innovation Lab Accelerator, it landed Femme Equity an extra opportunity to be here in the Techstars Catalyst program with you. Throughout the past 15 months, we were still working with new and reoccurring members like Maribel, who to date used the Career Hub resources and coaching and gave $18,000 in salary raises. Our extensive community network led to 80% of our members in a position due their field of study, and over $20,000 eliminated in student loan and consumer debt because 95% of our members took opportunities of government and state resources shared in our Femme Equity community. Maribel's outcome? Success, transformation, and change, from loss to gain. We are inviting you to scan the code on the screen, as well as send our code to someone in your community who would be willing to join us. And together, let's make access to equity and opportunity by transforming women and BIPOC in Baltimore, DC, and beyond with Femme Equity. Thank you.
I'm Hazel Horvath, founder and CEO of Ecolytics. I've worked in the environmental field as a part of impact investing, carbon offset, and corporate responsibility teams. So given my background, it wasn't that odd when a friend who had started his own company asked me, "What's the impact of my business?" I helped him figure it out, and turns out he's not the only one asking this question. And it's not just out of a sense of altruism. Businesses are realizing impact's advantage because over 90% of consumers are loyal to an impact-driven product or service, and your employees respond too. Employee retention increases almost 60% when a business starts focusing on impact. But after making the decision to become sustainable, first, the barrier to entry is high. Hiring a team or a consultant can have a six-figure upfront cost with no guarantee of a return on that investment. Second, there are hundreds of ESG metrics and therefore hundreds of corresponding solutions. Each of these metrics are siloed in their own verticals, making coordination between them difficult and improvement even harder. Lastly, consumers are tired of corporate claims of saving the world. With no standardized way to show company progress, less than 7% of consumers will believe a sustainability claim with no data to back it up. Enter Ecolytics. We're helping businesses turn impact into an asset and making that happen quicker, cheaper, and better. We first start with our automated impact measurement process, but then the real change happens when we help companies improve and showcase their progress. Our platform gives data-driven automated recommendations and referrals to sustainable actions, products, and services, cutting implementation time in half so businesses can start seeing those results quicker. We help businesses save time and money so the cost of our platform is paid off by what we help companies save. Lastly, we give companies data-backed action pages to transparently showcase their progress. So companies can utilize these pages to regain that consumer trust, leading to real change. We're often asked, are you a consultant, certification, or offset company? Because in the field of sustainability, those are the most established players. Ecolytics determines the best solutions for your company, whether it be these three or the hundreds of other sustainability services, products, or actions our platform can recommend. So these aren't really our competitors, but rather our collaborators. Right now, we're working with our early adopters, U.S. small and medium-sized businesses already using sustainability as a differentiator. And the opportunity here is huge because sustainability is no longer a nice to have, but a business need across all businesses, and especially with impending SEC regulations on climate disclosures. With my experience in the environmental field, paired with top software experts and business minds, we're the team to tackle it. So contact me if you're interested in getting involved with the platform that's turning impact into an asset.
Hi, I'm Nisa Shelley, the founder and CEO of Carpe Diem. I'm an attorney turned entrepreneur who's passionate about solving real-world problems, like the very real, very personal challenge I face finding love online. Did you know that the $6.7 billion online dating industry is now the #1 way that singles meet, consistently outpacing growth projections with an expected value of $9.9 billion by 2026? But we discovered a gaping hole in the market that has a segment of underserved singles whose pain points are so acute that they would pay us a lot of money to solve them. Professional Black women, just like myself. Despite our growing $3.8 billion buying power, Black women have a harder time finding love online than almost any other ethnic group, often facing racist and hypersexualized advances and lower rates of success using mainstream services. Both sides of the dating industry, dating apps, and high-end matchmaking services are racially biased, unsafe, and fail to properly vet their members. Our solution is traditional matchmaking meets modern online dating. Carpe Diem is filling the market gap by combining the best from online dating and matchmaking services for an under-leveraged niche market. We call it tech-enabled matchmaking. Carpe Diem is the one solution addressing the major problems in the dating industry by providing a dedicated human matchmaker, a 100% background check member base, and facilitating safe and convenient video dates via our patented app. We operate on a tiered subscription model where all of our members pay. Our introductory prices range from $250 to $1,800. Now, this is not a winner-take-all industry because most singles use between 3 and 5 dating services at the same time. And none of our competitors have our unique value proposition or target underserved and underleveraged professional Black women. There are 21.5 million Black singles in the US, and we launched in DC because of its favorable target demographics, including being the best city for dating with the highest number of singles in the nation. We will generate $1 million in revenue in year 1 with 1,000 members in the DC market. Since our launch in January, we've received over 700 applications and begun generating revenue. We'll hit the 5 million revenue mark by year 3. We plan subsequent launches in major cities like Atlanta and Chicago. My co-founder Sally and I have known each other for over 12 years, meeting at Howard Law. We have the technical talent and industry expertise needed to take Carpe Diem to the next level. Carpe Diem was voted 2021 Startup of the Year by Technically for good reason. We're creating a new category of online dating based on a far superior business model. Seize the opportunity with us, and together we will help Black women, the most underserved segment of the dating market, find love.
Broke, broken, failed, struggling, less than. This is the picture society paints of single moms, right? More like, yeah, right, for single moms today. And I'll let you in on something. A recent Morgan Stanley forecast on working women said that 45% of women ages 25 to 44 are going to be single by 2030, the largest share in US history. Pair that with 44% of millennials traveling with kids in tow. Clearly, there's nothing broke about the cash single moms are spending on family travel. I'm Kristen Hargrove, single mom and founder of CoTripper, a family travel platform exclusively for single moms that provides done-for-you itineraries to remove the friction for single moms traveling solo with kids. Being the sole parent responsible for planning where to go, what to do, and safety is exhausting. With over 13 million homes in this country led by single moms, raising a fourth of US children, industries failed to build for us, which is why our platform provides a private community for single moms to connect, share travel recommendations, and find travel companions. I've talked to over 100 single moms, and they're spending anywhere between $3,000 and $10,000 on their primary family vacation each year. In addition, they're taking 3 to 5 micro trips like staycations, road trips, and weekend getaways. While they can plan and book travel anywhere online, we speak directly to them. We understand what it's like to be a single mom, and it's that emotional connection that differentiates us from other providers. We are the platform they trust. We currently have 250 moms subscribed to our email list with aggressive growth metrics over the next 6 months. With the traveler experience sector estimated to grow to $447 billion by 2030, at the same time the number of single working women will be at record-breaking highs, we enhance the traveler experience for single moms. Dynamic, bold, unapologetic, trailblazing, successful. Let these words replace everything you thought you knew about single moms. CoTripper is a lifestyle brand, and travel is just our first stop. We've joined Expedia's Innovation Focus Group, which provides access to data and industry knowledge, and we're tracking to land additional industry partners by year end to help refine our platform and tools. CoTripper is trailblazing a new narrative, one that reflects single moms today. I guarantee you taking a meeting with us will be worthwhile. Together, we will make travel seamless for single moms. Thank you.
I'm Julie Saltman, CEO and founder of Stand. There's a knowledge crisis in the legal field right now. Firms are experiencing a 25% attrition rate that's costing them over $9 billion per year. A major driver of this cost is knowledge loss and onboarding as people come and go, and that problem is only compounding with the move to asynchronous remote collaboration. Lawyers are spending over 250% more time making decisions and sharing information in meetings, texts, chats, etc. And they're working after hours 30% more since the start of the pandemic just to keep up with the onerous task of saving all that information from disparate sources down to the right rigid hierarchical folder and then calling it up again. This is because there are no tech solutions in the market that make this process easier. Firms rely on typical legacy tools like Microsoft and Atlassian for their knowledge management needs. These tools have excellent data security and they're trusted and familiar, but they can't adapt to the way attorneys work now and the way information flows in our current environment. That's why we built Stand. Stand is a dynamic knowledge management platform that allows attorneys to manage, organize, and preserve all of the information they need, including on-the-fly data, organically while they're working together. Stand integrates with the tools attorneys use now so that they can create a record of their collaborative process and organize information around their work product, the way they use it, as they use it. Now, this is a tough problem, but we're the team to solve it. I have over 15 years of experience practicing law, mostly as a litigator with the U.S. Department of Justice. My tech team, head of product Joelle Shepperson, and full stack engineers Nick Stacaro and Dan Nix have extensive experience solving complex big data problems in analogous tough markets like government, healthcare, and logistics. Our go-to-market strategy is to develop a pilot with a top firm so that we can generate the customer data we need to fully build out our platform and begin to train our models. This also allows us to convert that pilot to a paid contract and ultimately scale throughout the firm to a multi-million-dollar per year contract for our very first customer. Once we've established ourselves in law, we'll scale to adjacent legacy industries where knowledge workers are experiencing these same pain points like government, consulting, finance, and academia. The global market for knowledge management tools is enormous. It's expected to top $1 trillion by 2026. But even if you just look at law, IT spend is going up and up year after year because the current tools on the market are not meeting lawyers' needs. We'd love to hear from you so that we can tell you more about how we're going to transform knowledge work. Thank you.
Have you ever felt like the media was talking about everyone else but you? Or maybe the cultural references mentioned or the use of slang just didn't relate to you? Well, let me share my most recent experience. While balancing a full-time job and attending in-person graduate classes 4 years ago, I found that newsletters were the best and most convenient way to stay informed as a Black millennial woman. But one newsletter turned into 5, which turned into 20 and more, as I was just looking for the one that provided a full summary of the day's news from my perspective. Each day it became more difficult, and I started to feel invisible and extremely overwhelmed because nothing was readily available in the media for me. And I realized I was not alone. 61% of African Americans, around 29 million, think it is difficult to keep up with the news, and nearly 4 in 10 African Americans report that the news they consume does not at all accurately portray their community. I spoke with over 100 women of color to create a first-of-its-kind, community-centric media company for Black women by Black women, representing the fastest-growing population of entrepreneurs and largest consumer group with a buying power of $3.8 billion. My name is Lauren Strayhorn, and I'm the founder and editor-in-chief of Noted, a community-centric media company that informs Black women on today's news while celebrating and highlighting our culture throughout the world. To date, we have a growing community of 300 plus subscribers with a close to 50% average open rate, who represent our beachhead market of mid to senior level professionals, small business owners, and entrepreneurs. And there are over 3 billion African American women in the world who are experiencing similar news challenges like our community. We're focusing on 15% of the market, resulting in over 1 million community members. And as you can see, our competitors are diverse in terms of traditional, online, and social media. So what sets us apart? We acquire our customers through referrals and social media. They then visit our website and sign up for our free weekly curated newsletter filled with news, perspective, and cultural highlights that don't garner mainstream media attention. Soon, they will have a platform to discuss and reflect what they're reading in the newsletter and more, and what we'll be piloting this summer, a community platform. Our new freemium model will allow our subscribers to continue to receive our free newsletter. For additional premium content, a paid subscription will be offered for members to access and businesses to advertise, exclusive events, tailored content based on their interest, a marketplace of Black women-owned businesses and experts, and opportunities to connect with like-minded women are what members will have access to. We already have 30 users on our waiting list and are currently conducting customer discovery to determine our pricing and subscription model for our platform. I'm excited to be with you all today. With a nearly decade of experience as a brand marketer, who is also accompanied by a team of talented social media, graphic design, PR, and operations experts, with a network of talented journalists and writers, we'd love to stay connected and find ways to partner and work together. As always, stay noted. Thank you.
If I asked you, how are babies made? You'd probably have some idea where to start, right? But what if I told you that everything you know about how babies were made and what it would take to become a family was wrong? As Black queer people, everything we're taught of family building and nurturing does not fit us. It's all wrong. 63% of us still dream of having families and creating traditions of our own, but we have no way of knowing how to get there because there's no one to show us. And I know what you're thinking. Talk to a doctor, a lawyer, an adoption agency, right? But our truth is Black birth and living out loud as queer people is lethal. So we have every right to withhold our trust because we've been mistreated by those same healthcare providers. And because of that, Black queer people have decided not to start families at a rate twice as much as our white counterparts. There seem to be all these paths to family, and yet none of them are built for us, pushing us to unsafe and unprotected do-it-yourself approaches when we deserve tailored resources and prioritization. My name is Mia Cooley, and I am the founder of Xhood. I built a path to family just for us. Xhood is tech-enabled family planning and family building and nurturing support for Black queer folks. We are a truly safe space for Black queer parents to create deep connections and build for support for themselves and for their families. We educate and guide our members on their family planning needs and help them to understand the support that they might need along the way. Our solution functions as both village and marketplace, connecting our community to one another and to their providers. Providers who are the businesses behind our families, including fertility, parent and child product and service providers, providers who are disconnected and missing the mark for the 60% of us who wish we knew more about our family planning options, and those providers who need the platform to demonstrate their prioritization of our community. On average, families who choose to persist and build in the way we must will spend between $800,000 and $150,000 on their path to family. Enter our marketplace partners, who will be granted access to our community through carefully curated touchpoints at these pivotal decisions for our families. At Xhood, we understand how, when, and why our community makes the decisions that we do because we listen to our private meta community, a community that has over 3,500 Black queer parents and caregivers, with an email waitlist of over 800 families who are anxiously awaiting our new experience. Value like this is not created in a silo. All of my community managers began as members and have since been volunteering their time towards expanding our new experience. Your support would mean that our families just got bigger. Thank you.
Greetings. I am a Black hardware engineer from Baltimore and the proud founder of Divaneering Lab. Truly inspired by the disruptive Madam C.J. Walker, I am revolutionizing the often overlooked yet highly profitable beauty tech industry. Here's the problem. It's simple. There's a lack of innovation to conveniently dry detached wig units and virgin hair bundles, leaving stylists and everyday wig and weave wearers waiting 12 to 24 hours for their hair to dry. Wearing wet wigs and weaves creates a huge breeding ground for mildew and odor and matted and tangled hair. Only when wigs and weaves are completely dry are you able to detect its true color and texture. This lack of innovation creates a huge maintenance problem. But Deveneering Lab, we have the solution. Spundle, the first ever no heat dryer, engineered and scientifically validated to dry wigs and weaves of different lengths, textures, and densities in just 15 minutes or less. Spundle was designed to safely dry these hair units that women, cancer survivors, and celebrities are spending thousands of dollars on. We are targeting a $6.4 billion market of prosumers, hair distributors, and kitchen beauticians. We respect leading innovators such as Conair and my favorite Dyson, but no other dryer compares to Spundle. These companies are neglecting the returns that are yielded when diversity and inclusion are at the catalyst of innovation. Deveneering Lab will capitalize on this opportunity with our unique value proposition. While the major dryer manufacturers are reinventing dryers for hair that grows naturally from our heads, Spundle was engineered exclusively for detachable hair pieces. First, we plan to invite stylists and salons to pilot Spundle for an estimated price tag of $2,500. We plan to partner with hair influencers and celebrities for marketing and sales. Deveneering Lab is equipped with a dream team of diverse engineers and business professionals to build Spundle with quality and impressive aesthetics. We currently are growing our wait list of over 600 as we gear up for Spundle to make its grand appearance this summer with the release of our proof of concept video. Innovate with me and tell all the girls to go visit their new best friend at meetspundle.com. Join our growing waitlist and get ready for a hair revolution.
During my high school years, when all my friends were going to college visits and proms, I was going from doctor office to doctor office. My friends were worried about SATs and college. I was worried about treatments and a diagnosis. None of my friends could relate to me, and I couldn't relate to them. I was then diagnosed with an incurable condition, and it felt helpless. I spent hours searching for answers, from Facebook groups to in-person meetups, and none of them had the answers I was looking for. I then finally met someone my age with my condition. She gave me advice from best doctors to balancing college with a health condition. I finally felt a feeling I haven't felt in years: relief. When the COVID pandemic hit, it gave a glimpse into my reality. People were all over social media asking each other for help, just as I had. The information was all over the place, and it was time to fix this. So that inspired me to found Help. Help is a health tech platform that crowdsources what works. Help has two distinct features. The first feature is a social network that connects patients one-to-one with the same health condition, and to partners like NGOs or health groups. The second feature is our discovery page, where users take a survey. We collect all the solutions that work for each medical condition, from best treatments to best doctors. We collect them all. We then publish the results. We only source recommendations from our community. We love doctors, but they don't try what they prescribe and can't help patients with dating advice or going back to work after treatment. But other patients who have gone through it can help, and we're on a mission to bring the patient voice into medicine. The market is big. However, we identified a group that no one is reaching: young adults with chronic illnesses. They make up 20% of college campuses. We partner with student health centers across college campuses to be the first support app for college students with chronic illnesses, and use social media to reach this demographic. Currently, we're focusing on growth but we plan to make money by partnering with health organizations to create surveys to capture patient feedback, and will provide a premium model for health partners on our app. We've partnered with AppZoomy, a medical software firm, with support from Google for Startups to build a novel HIPAA-compliant crowdsourcing tool. We have a 9,000 person waitlist, have over 40,000 followers across our social platforms, with over 12 million views on our content, and have been recognized by the State Department and voted Technically Invention of the Year for our impact. And we'd love to work with anyone who's interested in partnering up to bring the patient voice into medicine. Thank you.
Over the last 3 years, the field of public health has seen unprecedented times. Large numbers of resignations, folks burning out, and employers struggling with how to support their employees in this hybrid environment, largely because they've never dealt with the issues we're facing now. Like, how do they provide accommodations to their existing staff that may have complications related to COVID-19? Or how do they make an inclusive recruitment process that can be supportive of those with postpartum depression? These issues are coming up so much more when we see that 25% of the working population identify as having a chronic condition or disability. And that number is increasing as our working population ages and their cognition and mobility changes. Eventually, we will all join the minority group of having a disability. Hi, my name is Mariah Barber, and I'm co-founder and CEO of Invisible Strengths, or IS for short. And we're a double-sided platform connecting employers' offerings with job seekers' needs so that we can retain, attract, and uplift diverse talent pipelines. For employers, this means uploading a job on our application and then being prompted with over 80 accommodations offerings. Everything across the spectrum from offering a fidget spinner to executives coaching or telework. For job seekers, we have trainings and also a social networking element so that you can share resources and tools to help you thrive on the job and make a culture fit on the front end of the hiring process. We do this through a B2B subscription as a service model where employers have the opportunity for tiered pricing based on how many offerings or jobs they want to put on our platform monthly. We support our freemium model through advertisements for job seekers with the opportunity for them to upgrade for additional features. We saw 14% growth in the field of public health last year, and $7.4 billion poured into the retention of jobs within the field. And IS is primed to support this initiative. And the focus that sets us apart are 3 things. 1, we're looking into innovating for the field of public health. Secondly, we're focused on those with invisible disabilities. And lastly, we're focused on intersectional candidates that may have multiple identities that are oppressed. Our go-to-market strategy is to partner with membership organizations and medium-sized organizations working on health equity that are already looking for more inclusive HR recruitment practices. I have a fabulous team of sheroes behind me with over combined 40 years experience across HR, full stack development, user experience design, as well as consulting in DEAI, and of course, the public health workforce. Please scan our QR code that will take you to our demo and our pre-subscribers list. We'd love for you to try to crash us as we just launched last month. Thank you, and remember, the future of work is most definitely accessible.
Hi, my name is Aixa El-Ghazi, and I am the founder of Trust Fund Registry. Before launching Trust Fund Registry, I provided home ownership and credit counseling for over 10 years. In my later years, I was owner-operator for a thriving seasonal tax practice, serving over 6,500 clients in 3 locations. And it was in those environments I saw firsthand how culture, theology, emotions, family dynamics, psychology, sociology, discrimination trauma, and access to economic education impact financial decisions and saving habits of our BIPOC families. not higher incomes, and not college degrees. I remember thinking to myself, what if we could actually remove these opportunity barriers by developing cutting-edge fintech and artificial intelligence to engage, educate, and invest starting at age 0? What if we could build technology designed to make custodial accounts and other investment instruments accessible, simple, and welcoming for BIPOC families? That's how Trust Fund Registry works. Trust Fund Registry drives financial inclusion in 3 key ways: the expense of a traditional trust fund and intimidation of custodial accounts setup is removed. A guardian can set up a custodial account for the child they love in less than 3 minutes, and a child's birth date and social is not required for a family or friend to gift an investment. Trust Fund Registry is a robo-advisor that incorporates a gift registry sales model with picture and video sharing to encourage family and friends to see a child's investment portfolio. In the US alone, robo-advisors account for $1.23 trillion in assets under management, while the market share for BIPOC families is $2.24 million. We have also identified our position within the $2 billion baby gift registry market and the 4.5 million baby registries for expectant parents each year. We built a waitlist from our first customer discovery survey conducted in November. And as of May, the excitement has grown to 1,136 families waiting to join our platform. Trust Fund Registry is the first and only wealth tech artificial intelligence solution curated for BIPOC families and by a BIPOC team of industry experts in education, technology, and wealth management, because representation does matter. We seek strategic mentorship for compliance strategy, integration with institutional clients, building our team equity pool. We envision a world in which every BIPOC family will join Trust Fund Registry to access the power of artificial intelligence, blockchain technologies to diminish wealth inequalities and 10x our generational wealth. Let's talk about why you should be a part of our journey. Thank you.
Amazing. Congratulations, founders. You did it. Huge round of applause to all of you. And honestly, tremendous job. We're all so proud of everything you've accomplished in such a short time. It's truly a delight to see what you've shared with us today, and we're super excited to see what you do next. Again, round of applause to all of you. Well done. It's really great to see you all today. That, as promised, everyone, those are the pitches. That's a wrap on the pitches. Now we're moving on to the networking segment of the program. But before I do that, I wanted to again extend a very heartfelt thank you to the team that has made all of this possible. So if you will indulge me, at Techstars, thank you to Tammy, Katie, Cheryl, Lucia, Neil, and Talisha, and of course, at JP Morgan, the amazing team there, Lauren, Anna, Violetta, and Eunice. We could not have done any of this without you. So thank you all for all your advice and support and efforts in getting us to pitch day today. It's been phenomenal working with you all together and seeing how the founders have grown throughout the program. Of course, we would like to thank mentors who have been a tremendous source of support as well. So thank you all for jumping in and doing everything you do to support founders on their journey. I know that you, along with the rest of us, are excited to see how they continue to grow. But again, well done, everybody. Thanks, everybody, for attending today as well. Thanks so much for your time, and we're super excited to see what comes next from these fantastic founders.